It's new project time on the skid factory. Guess what? It's a manual. Welcome back to the skid factory. It's new project time, and this is the project. It's not actually a new car because we've had it for about 5 years, but it's been chilling, just waiting for time for us to get stuck into it. It is a 1991 Nissan Fairlady Z or Z or a 300ZX, depending on what country you're from. These things were sold all around the world in left and right hand drive form, and that's kind of what differentiates them from a lot of the JDM fanboy stuff in the Nissan range. Is all of those other cars weren't available in left hand drive, so these ones were available all over the world. There's heaps of them in the USA particularly. They were a big seller over there. They built these from 1989 till the year 2000, so it was a very long production run, and they didn't really change much through that run apart from just some aesthetic stuff and different bumpers and taillights and that sort of thing. So originally these things had a V6 engine in them, and they were completely designed around that engine. It was a VG30, so iron block quad cam V6. Some of them were turbo. This particular one started life as a twin turbo automatic, and it is also a short wheelbase or a 2+0, so it's got no rear seats. Not that the rear seats on the 2+2s are useful for anything, but the actual wheelbase is shorter on these particular ones. The late 80s through the 90s was the heyday for Japanese cars. The economy was booming in Japan, and they had a lot of people had a lot of money to spend on nice cars, and the Japanese manufacturers put tons of effort into a wide model range, and this was probably considered to be the top of the heap as far as their technology was concerned. The R32 GTR was obviously a pretty high-tech car at the time as well, but it was aimed at a different market. It wasn't a world car. It was only sold in Japan, and a few of them got sold in Australia just for homologation purposes, whereas this was built to be sent all over the world and kind of be the pinnacle of what Nissan Japan could do as far as vehicle design and performance and general quality. So this car was actually designed in the 80s using computer-aided design, and it was probably one of the first cars in the world to do that. They used like a Cray supercomputer that was probably the size of this shed to design it, virtually design it. And the reason for that is the thing is insanely complicated in standard form. And I don't know whether they did that on purpose or whether it was just how it turned out. But if you've ever pulled apart one of these or worked on them, especially in the twin turbo format, the level of complexity is mind-boggling. And that was awesome when it was brand new and probably up to about 10 years old. But after that, that's what became the downfall of these vehicles, is they were overly complex, and things like corrosion and that started coming into play. They end up with water leaks, oil leaks, all that sort of stuff, and the engines usually just end up failing because of that sort of thing. And that's what happened to this car. We bought it, or Woody bought it for me, and it had the engine block was still sitting in there, and everything else was taken off it because it had been overheated so badly that anything that was plastic was melted. Like, it had puddles of plastic sitting in the middle of it from knock sensors and that sort of thing. So it had been cooked really, really badly. I can't imagine how long they must have driven it with no water in it.
You still owe me $300, by the way.
What? So if you're into engine swapping cars like we are, these are a pretty cool thing, because you get this. This car was in excellent condition when we got it. It was far better than any of the other Japanese import stuff that you could buy at the time, like Silvias and Skylines and that sort of thing.
Considering we paid $800 for this.
Yeah, so it was very cheap, and the bit that was broken was of no concern to us because we like engine swapping things. So we bought it, and we physically had 2 engines that were going to go into it, and I also had planned on a couple of others and transmissions, and over time it just never got worked on because we were doing other things, and then I just kept changing my mind because I am prone to doing that. So the first engine was a Nissan V8, a VH41 that I got. I was a pretty big fan of those, and we were planning on putting a couple of turbos on it, and I can't remember what sort of transmission I was going to put behind it. I think it was a Z32 actual manual transmission, which is what we're using now anyway. But for some reason, I think I worked on someone's car, maybe it was Lee's Tirana, and I lost my mind about how hard it is to fit things in places that aren't supposed to be there, and I knew that was going to be an issue with the VH41, so I decided to sell that on, and actually I think I gave it to John, but anyway, in the States there is a lot of VH45s and 41s in these, not as many as there is LSs, which is a very common conversion for obvious reasons. It's a great engine and they fit really easily, and you can buy like swap kits from Lodge conversions and places like that where you can literally just fit it and you're done. But we don't really get into LSs so much over here. Well, I don't. So engine choice, where did I start with? VH41. I think then I wanted to do a K24 because everyone does K24s, and then I went off that because everyone does K24s and I got sick of seeing them. We're going to put a DCT box behind that, so a direct clutch thing. I've still got the gearbox. If you want to buy it, let me know. And then where'd I go then? I think I went VR6 Volkswagen engine, which are cool, and
This was an idea you said.
That would have been a cool idea, and I almost bought one, and then I think I was going overseas or something and didn't, and then obviously when I got back it wasn't there anymore. So yeah, there's been multiple ideas to fit into this car.
I still vouch that I reckon a stout VG30 build would have been really cool.
Well, that was the next one. Actually, just prior to kicking this off, I actually wanted to find a VG30 and just build an updated version of what they built back in the day with modern things like e-throttles and, you know, engine management systems, newer turbos, better intercoolers, that sort of thing. But I couldn't find one. They're all melted and at the scrap. So that was the problem with the VG30. It's a great engine and it's just as good as any of the other Nissan engines at the time. It's huge and it only fits in these things. So they often just get thrown out after they've been damaged. So that comes to the engine that we're going to put into it.
Come on. Come through.
You don't want to know, do you?
Go over there.
SR20.
Come on, walk over there.
You know how much I love SR20s. Again, I don't know how I got to this. I think I actually thought, oh, hang on, let's do an RB because we haven't done one of them for ages, and it was a pretty basic VL build. It was actually the first one we did on the channel. And I thought, oh, RBs are cool. People are like that. And it's something different. And they do sound awesome. And they fit. Again, a lot of RB26 conversions done in the US probably about 15 years ago when an RB26 wasn't crazy money, but there's a formula to get them in there and that sort of thing, so I knew it was doable. So I bought this cylinder head for it first. It's an RB25 early, and I bought that off a guy named Brendan who was awesome, and he ended up supplying me with a whole bunch of other parts because he had a lot of broken Skyline bits, which is not uncommon. So I started with that. Then I got a hold of this block, which is an RB30. So it's an RB30-25 hybrid, or an RB30DETT, as sometimes people call them, which wasn't an engine that was produced. This is a hybrid engine that people build out of the RB30, which is in the VL Commodore, Nissan Skyline R31 in Australia, and Nissan Patrols. This one came out of a Patrol. It would have been carburetted, which people probably didn't realise was a thing. But yeah, RB30, what do they call it? RB30C or something. It's not even an E.
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Is there a carby?
They just have like an old carby off of what a Datto had in 1970 on them. and they go forever. They don't have any power, so there's no problems with them. So that block's all been cleaned up, and we are ready to start assembling an engine, which will be probably, I don't know, next episode maybe. The transmission, as I said, it's a VG30DETT Z32 transmission. The box is actually internally the same as a RB25 turbo box, which is the big one that's the strongest, and also mostly the same as a GDR transmission, a 5-speed, except for obviously the back of it's different because it has a transfer case on it. So what I've done here is that is off a GDR, and that is the Z32. Remove what they call the bell housing, which is basically 3/4 of the transmission case, and swap it for the RB spec bell housing, and basically you've then got a transmission that fits into that car with its remote shifter assembly and also bolts up to the RB engine. So that'll bolt to that, that'll get built, and then we'll fit it to the car itself. But let's have a little bit of a look around at these cars, because I feel like we've done ourselves a disservice by pulling the thing apart years ago, but we may even have some footage of it. But
there's lots of footage there somewhere, yeah.
The complexity is mind-boggling. Even like I've seen a lot of complex cars. I used to work on twin turbo Subarus all the time, which are equally ridiculous. But this thing, it's out there. It's got things bolted in places that you just would never expect. Like the ABS unit is in the back of the car behind the driver's seat. There's just things underneath the guards and everything, because there's nowhere else to put it. Like the engine bay was so full of stuff that they just had to think outside the square and stick things in other places that you would never expect to find them. So I'd say people would have had a lot of fun looking for things like, in this case, a starter relay. It's up inside the inner guard up here behind the wheel liner. Like, imagine trying to find that. I definitely,
now I know where it is. So
I definitely need to, if you're looking for it, that's where it is. There's no throttle. I already pulled the throttle out by the look of it, because I knew I would have been putting e-throttle in it.
You pulled a lot of things out by the look of things.
Yeah. Well, all of this stuff had to come out, like that had to come out so I could get the wiring loom out.
We can throw this out, hey? And you don't like
I don't. Yeah, aircon's, well, I like it when it's there, but I just don't like fitting it. But the catch is with this is that it's technically not my car, it's actually for my wife. So
you can preach that as much as you want, but I know
it definitely does have to have all those things working, because then happy wife, happy life and all that. So yeah, that will be going back in.
I know who's going to be driving this more than anyone.
I know who's already got their name on it.
Yeah.
Gus Butler. This, my Crown, any other car that comes into the...
What kind of stairs are we rocking here, mate? That's that ancient.
How good is it?
Is it removable so you can stash it in your pocket? It is too. Look at this. Oh no.
What a piece of...
Here, take that with you.
No one's going to steal this. It's in my pocket.
So, when you said that these are actually only a two-seater, hang on, how does this come forward? Oh, is that leather? Oh no. Is it leather?
It's fake leather.
Fake leather. When you said that these are...
What does that do that?
There you go.
Yeah, so this particular model is a 2+0, they call it. So the 2+2 is a longer wheelbase. It's probably got about that much more in it, and there's a seat here obviously that no one can sit in. So there's a few variations on the theme with these things. The filler for the fuel tank is at the back of the guard instead of the front.
So they push it back there,
It's kind of an easy way to see what the difference is.
There's the ancient Rego sticker. When was it last? 05/2014.
Yeah. That might be the last time they had Rego stickers.
What's in the back there then? Is that...
I don't know what's under there. I think the fuel tank's there, but there's a small computer down here that I looked up the part number for that says it's a fuel pump control module, but it's like the size of a Haltech.
Stay.
On this side there's a ABS pump, which is like from the 80s, so pretty useless. Under here there's a little treasure trove of...
Is that factory?
Yeah, little treasure trove of control modules under here that have been unplugged. And
how good's the Nissan bracket?
yeah,
Where were these? Up in here?
they are under the carpet.
Oh, they were under here.
Yeah, under there. That's what that panel is you just
Oh,
had.
the wooden.
It's a false floor.
Yar. Okay.
So that'd be transmission computer. I don't know what the other stuff is. You literally got to like type it in, and then it comes up from some like Filipino eBay telling you what the module is.
No airbags, no?
No, it's a bit before that.
Okay.
They definitely had airbags later on, so you have to put a hectic steering wheel on it.
Can we take the?
Has it got a thing for chicks? Yeah.
Can we take the target top off somehow?
You can take them off, but I don't want to because
It doesn't leak.
they'll never seal again.
Yeah, true. Nice. Don't you want the hair? Don't you want the wind going through your hair, Alan? Oh, hang on. It's got a little.
Yeah, they've got
It's got a sun cover. That's cool.
Yeah, this one's already off. It's in the back.
I like
you need that because
Yeah, the sun.
skin cancer is
Yeah,
a
you
problem
get
in
snark.
Australia.
All right, go through the boot. What's in the back here? Open the back up.
Pull it.
Oh, that's a heavy one. Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Look at that. That's the import
that's
one.
the import one. Yeah,
Here you go. That's so you can
twin
read.
turbs.
That's so you can know how that stereo works. I'll wire that back up for you. How about that?
It's not even the right one.
And you can play.
It's not even the one that's in it.
You can play that. Remember, I borrowed your CD stash. I remember once in my Crusader, I said, "Hey, you got any CDs?" Oh, that's cool. Can I have that?
No.
Please.
Yeah, dog.
There we go. Good for my memory wall. There you go. Be street smart, homies. Drive safe. Oh.
Made in West Germany.
Oh yeah, I gave that to McGinn. Sweet as, brother. The import plate.
The pop rivets rusted, corroded
At
away.
least it's not a Western Sydney sticker that peels off.
Bruh.
You never see
Don't
it
talk
again.
about Western Sydney. Come with me.
What have you got?
This will tickle. This will tickle the fancy of anyone that's.
That scared me. No way.
Your mates.
We'll let the comment section sort that one out.
Like, give you a bit of an insight on what we're going to be up to in the next couple of months on this Z32 project. We have got a bunch of engine parts and other bits and pieces from Golebys parts ready to go into the engine, and we've got a very special guest that's going to help me with the engine build. So that'll probably be next week. We've also got some cool stuff to bolt on the outsides of the engine, power making things like turbos and that. I've had a bit of help from a mate, Brendan, who sold me the original engine parts and then offered to build me some exhaust manifolds for it. So that's pretty cool. You probably noticed the title to this video was New Project and Big News, or Massive News, or whatever Woody decided to call it. That's the project. Now the massive news. This will be my last project as host of the Skid Factory. I have decided to relinquish that role and hand it over to Woody. So he will be the host of the show from probably early next year sometime. This is a personal decision that I've decided is best for me and my life going forward. If you watch YouTube, you probably think it's just a bit of fun, but it's actually an incredibly demanding job to produce content of this standard, and it's kind of like it was enjoyable for the last 5 or 6 years, or however long we've been doing it, but now I just feel like I need a bit more time in my life to do some other things, and I'll probably just go back to doing work in the shed without filming it. So still going to be working on cars, just not going to have a camera in the vicinity. That doesn't mean you won't see me around. I've got a heap of projects to do next year for other people's, and if anything's cool, Woody's going to show up and we're going to talk about it and show you what I've been up to, and I might get a guest spot hosting, so that'll be cool. Woody is going to obviously take over the role of hosting the show, and also continue his roles of cameraman, editing, and production, which he's always done. I just stand in front of the camera and babble shit most of the time. Woody's the one that does all the work to get the show to you every week. So he's got a lot to do, but he's also hyper keen, as you know. He's a pretty excited fella at the best of times, and this new challenge is something that he's taken on board, and he's really keen to get stuck into it. So definitely would appreciate you guys giving him the support he deserves. He is a pretty talented mechanic and sort of amateur fabricator. He's been around me for a long time, and he does actually do a lot of the stuff that I do, but usually he's just filming me doing it. So there's a heap of cool projects for him next year as well. He's going to finish off Kevo, which he will now own. Kevo needs a bit more work and mainly just a lot more love, which I don't have for him at the moment. So I think that'll probably be something that Woody will get stuck into first thing next year after this is finished. There's also, of course, his Fairlane that's been sitting around for many, many years, nearly as long as this one, and that has a engine and gearbox ready to go in it, and so that'll be a pretty cool thing as well. Whenever Woody needs a hand, I'm obviously going to do what I can, unless he takes up wiring real quick. I'm guessing that I'm probably going to be doing a bit of that for him. And there's also a big group of mates on the Sunshine Coast here that will lend him a hand with various skills when required. So it's going to be pretty much the same thing, just without me mumbling at the camera. So get on board. It's going to be exciting in the future for Woody. He's a young fella, he's real keen, and we'd appreciate your support. So I'm going to go do some dirt bike riding and maybe a bit of travelling and work on some cars in the meantime. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week and do some more cool stuff.
They bought those headlights off Nissan, is that what happened? Is that what the go was?
Yeah, because they used to have pop-ups, and then I don't know why would they get rid of pop-ups?
Pop-ups are awesome, yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, Nissan put a lot of time into making these things work because of the crazy angle on the headlight. At the time, no one knew how to make a headlight that would work at that crazy angle.
Hang on, what do you mean by that?
Well, just such a shallow and long lens instead of an upright lens. So yeah, Lamborghini just bought headlights off them and then just put a trim panel over the top of the bit that said Ichiko Nissan. Ichiko.
Let's be real, although it's a nice looking car now because it's a...
I actually think that probably would 100% be the best part of that Lamborghini. It's probably the only thing that still works on that Lamborghini.
Wow, how's that cool?
They're absolute piles of shit, those.
So anyone's got... What model was it?
I don't care how cool they are. They're just not a very well made car.
What model was it that had these headlights?
I don't know. Whatever. Countach?
Was it a Countach?
Countach.
Was it?
Countach.
So if anyone's got a Countach and they want to tell us how the headlights are going...
Yeah, they're mint. That plastic trim that they put on, or the carbon fibre trim, that's probably broken. Because Lamborghini.
Can you call this a supercar? Can we use that as a thumbnail?
100%. It's probably a better supercar than
New
a Lamborghini
supercar. We bought a supercar. I bought my best mate a supercar.
I bought a pair of supercar headlights with a free aging Nissan connected to them.
Hey, while I got you, can you tell everyone about the Golebys Parts Black Friday sale?
I could if I knew when it was. When is it?
All right, Black Friday, which is I think must be the 24th. When's the Friday? What is Black Friday?
I don't know.
Why is it a thing? It's just a made up thing.
It's a thing where you buy shit for cheap, isn't it?
Okay, so Golebys has got a sale on from Monday the 20th to Monday the 27th.
I don't think Golby got the memo about the Black Friday.
I've got a bit of Zoom issue going here. Well, I think it's like
Friday.
Maybe it's a Black Monday to Monday sale. So Golby's got some mad deals going on. If you want to buy some parts,
Off-white Monday to Cyber Monday, and Black Friday in between.
Oh, is that what Cyber Monday is? It's the Monday after Friday. Now it makes sense to me.
Isn't Cyber Monday where you buy electronic parts? Because Cyber.
Well, I don't
just
know.
made that up.
Think about all the money you could have saved with this thing.
I know, right?
Righto, Golebys parts 0421 087 507. Is that still the number?
Send nudes.
Get on board. Point to the corner. I'll link it for Goleby
It's
too.
not
How about
Ranger's
that?
phone number, is it?
Point to the corner. Was that his personal phone number? No, like, yeah, okay. All right. See you, homie.
But.